Maybe I'll get some people to come join me. So, we had a little cooler weather here in Florida, so I've been enjoying it. I'm just gonna kind of talk a little bit, wait to see if somebody else gets on here. But we're supposed to have 45 next week, so I don't know. It's very refreshing, so I'm excited about the cold weather. We have a family of turkeys that live in our woods, and so they're getting kind of excited too because it's getting cold, and we're seeing some of the medium-sized, they're about that tall, medium-sized babies around. So my son shot a video out the back window of his house of all the little baby turkeys. We get really excited about birds up here. We love them. So let's see, what time is it? I think we're right at about 7. Are we going to have anybody join us? I've got some cute projects. I also have some classes coming up. Well, I have one class that I've scheduled on November the 18th, and it is one of my last Stamp-A-Stacks for Christmas cards. So I am going to flip my camera around, and I'll show you what the Stamp-A-Stack consists of. Hey, before I do that, let me give away, last week I had, let's talk about if you will share my video on your Facebook page, that will put your name into a drawing, and this week's drawing is some pearlized doilies. Can you see them? And the reason why they're pearlized is because yesterday, Tuesday, was Stampin' Up's 30th birthday. They've been in business 30 years, and of that, I've been doing this 16 years. So I'm half their age, but it's been a fun time. I still enjoy it. And we have a convention coming up in a couple weeks, and it's in Orlando. And I'm really excited because we get together, my downline gets together, I get to see other girls I haven't seen in a while, and we just have a good time. So at any rate, so share my video, and I'll put your name in for some pearlized doilies, and who knows, you may win. So last week's winner was Julie Wheeler, and she got this assortment package of glimmer paper. Very pretty. So Julie, I will get this in the mail to you, and I thank you very much for sharing my video. And I hope you enjoy the glimmer paper. I know you will, because you make some gorgeous, gorgeous cards. So, and I know you like adding in a little bit of glitter to your cards. All right, so I'm going to flip you around, and I'm going to show you one of my classes coming up. This is a kit, so if you can't make it to the class, if you're not local, you can always purchase the kit. It's a great buy. You get 20 cards for $20. It's a great buy. The stamp set is extra, but again, $1 a Christmas card. You can't even go to the dollar store. Well, I guess the dollar store is $1. You get stuff for $1. But anyways, it's right there with dollar store, and they're beautiful cards. So I'm going to stand up here, and I'm going to get you turned around so I can show you, okay? So close your eyes, and in a minute, we'll get you turned around. Okay. I think that works. So let me show you my cards. This is from the, well, first of all, you get in this kit, now this kit is called Tidings, Timeless Tidings. And on the holiday catalog, it is located over here on page 33. So if you have the holiday catalog, let me get my hair put back. It's going to be in the camera. Hi, Diana. How are you doing? You had just a wonderful time up there wherever your little cabin is, and now you're back, huh? Well, thanks for joining me tonight. I don't know if you caught it, but if you'll share my video, I'll put your name in for a drawing to win some free doilies. So these pearlized doilies for Stampin' Up's 30th birthday. But anyways, I was talking about a class I have coming up, and you have to RSVP by the 28th of this month. But it's for these Christmas cards, and it is a kit. It is on page 33, but if you come to the class, I will have the stamp set there, and you can stamp the cards and go home with 20 cards ready to go. So here are the cards. There's one. They're really, really pretty. And I'm sorry, it's very flashy with the gold, but there's just lots of gold. Here's one of the envelopes. Look how pretty. Very, very pretty. And you get 5 designs, 6, wait, that doesn't add up, does it? 6, I'll go look. Here's one with gold trim on the bottom, and you have sequins. It's just beautiful, beautiful cards. Let's see, what other design do we have? I showed you that design. Showed you that design. I should have one more design in here. Oh yes, this one. Isn't that beautiful? So let me go find out what you make. I know you get 20 cards. You get 5 of 4 designs. So here are the 4 designs, and you get to make 5 of these. So that's in a kit that you can purchase and do at your house, but you'll have to get the stamp set. Or you can come to class and I throw in a snail and a sheet of dimensionals, and it's a $35 class, and you can use my stamp set. So I will put a link. I'm going to try to put a link at the bottom so that if you want to sign up for the class, you can. It's going to be an Eventbrite. So check out once we're done with the live, Facebook Live. All right, so we did the giveaways. I talked about the pearlized doilies. So the projects we're going to do tonight, if you were local and in my downline, you would have made several of these cards. So we always get together at least once a month. We always do things together, creating cards or what have you. But this card is made using the Feathers and Frost stamp set. Hey, Patty. Feathers and Frost stamp set. And I really had a lot of ideas that popped into my head when I started using this. So with this card, you're going to need, here's your card stock you're going to need. You're going to need a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cherry cobbler, scored in the middle. And then you're going to need a piece of, this is very vanilla, and I cut it to 3 3/4 by 5, and then you're going to need a little strip for your season's greetings. Now, I'm going to take this stamp here. Now, I'm also going to use alcohol markers. Now, the thing with alcohol markers is you have to have this concept of opposites. You know how when you do watercolor, you're supposed to use the StazOn pad because StazOn is alcohol. And, hi. StazOn is alcohol, so you can use watercolor with StazOn. Well, with all of our beautiful, beautiful alcohol markers, you want to use the opposite. They're alcohol, so you want to use watercolor or water-based pads, and that's just our standard pads. So for this, I'm going to stamp the image in the back with just Call Me Clover. And I'm going to flip that stamp upside down. And I'm just going to put it right in the middle of this. Hopefully right in the middle. Just gently put it down and rub the back. And then for the leaves, I'm going to grab my Granny Apple Green. And we're going to color. Now, you know that with alcohol markers, you have a thin side and a thick side. Hey, Karen. Karen, you got to make these. You're going to use, there's a thin side and a thick side to this marker. So, meaning brush side. So know that when you immediately look at your alcohol markers, you'll know which side you want to open up. Now, when you use the alcohol markers, particularly on the brush side, you want to lightly touch. Because what I find is the harder you push down with that tip, the more alcohol that comes out and the more that it'll run out beyond the lines. So just have a light touch. And you don't have to fill all the space up. It's interesting to the eye when you leave white space, or in this case, vanilla space. So don't fret too much with having to fill it all. All right, now I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab the Cherry Cobbler Light. Now, you know these markers come light and dark, and you really have to play around with the colors to know which ones to use in what situations. I don't want a dark color, even though it's Cherry Cobbler, the base, it's just too dark. So we're going to start, oh, and the other pointer is it's always good to start light and go dark. And all I'm wanting is color here. There's not a big enough area to shadow. If you want some pointers on the alcohol markers, I have videos on my Sandy's Creative Connection. Just don't put that apostrophe in there. There's videos on how to do the alcohol markers, so you might want to visit that if you want to learn more. Okay, so we're going to take and we're going to glue this guy down. And I need to get glue. The reason why I'm going to use green glue, and the reason why I'm using green glue is it's a pretty large piece of cardstock. So we want to use liquid glue on larger areas to hold it in place. Snail does much better on embellishments. Now these cards are going to go together quick. And here on this strip we're going to put the season's greetings. And that's this down here at the bottom. These words out of this set. And this is going to be embossed in gold. So with that, we need to have our embossing buddy, because that removes the static electricity. And then I'm going to use Versamark, which is a clear silicone ink. We have refills for that. Put my stamp upside down and ink. Then the next thing I'm going to do is get this on a line on my grid sheet so that I have something with my eyes that I can make sure it's straight. And I'm just going to gently stamp, rub over the back. Okay, well, you can't see it, but once we get that powder on there, you're going to be able to see it. And you need to be somewhat quick for this operation here so that it doesn't dry out, because it's the liquid or the wetness of the stamp that holds the embossing powder in place. Embossing powder are just little pieces of plastic ground up. Okay, so that's good. Now you could set that aside and that could stay there for a week or two. As you know, as long as you didn't touch it, you can keep it in limbo like that. I maybe not a week. I guess that's over exaggerating. Okay, I'm gonna heat her up. And the way you know it's done is it will get shiny. You see how it's shining? Down here it's dull. Down where it's completely ready or heated, it becomes very shiny. Okay. All right. And I think I ran my gun through it, so don't do that. Yep, I did. Oh well. So now this is going to go on with dimensionals. And I'm going to put probably 3 or 4. And before I do that, I've got some gold cord here. Actually, it's thread. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right back in there. But it adds a little pop. And the way I do gold thread is I'll take in all 4 fingers, I will wrap, maybe 4 times, cut, and then I'll grab a glue dot. Here are my glue dots. And I want that end to stay up here. So, because I want both ends at the top, and I'm going to take a glue dot, and I'm just going to lay it over the glue dot and push it into the glue dot. And so now I've got to figure out where this guy goes. We don't want him upside down. So I'm going to put the glue dot like right here so that that banner hides it. And then I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to use my paper piercer to remove the back. There we go. This is going to go across the front, and it's exactly the same. I tried to get it exactly the same width as the Whisper White first layer that we stamped on. All right, now I'm going to grab, I don't know, have you guys used this tool? Picket tool. Works pretty good with sequins. And I will generally put sequins when I'm in a class or just anywhere, you know, if I'm doing a lot of cards. I'll get a clamshell. I have a lot of old stamp sets left over that I've pulled out and put into the cases we use now. So I've kept them all these years. And so now I'm going to reach in and you grab it. These things are really cool. And I'm going to stick them on my, not unless you have sequins that come pre-glued. Okay, I need 3 of these little guys. Remember, you always put 3. Glue dot, where are you? Now I will take my my paper piercer and put it down where I want it to be. And that one's upside down, so I'm going to flip it. There we go. Maybe down here? Yeah, I like that. Okay, so now what we ended up doing was making 3 of these and sticking them in this beautiful box with envelopes. Of course, there's not 3 in there now because I took one out to show you guys. But These boxes, these clear acetate boxes, are in our catalog. They are on page 193, and they're up here in the in this upper right hand corner. They're kind of hard to tell what they are, but at any rate, so it makes a cute little gift. So and it's about 24 inches worth of ribbon, and we've got the gold cording in there too. So what a cute little gift. Now let's make this little tag. Tag is made out of vellum. Here's my vellum. I love vellum. Vellum is so elegant. And I'm going to use the Everyday Label punch. Punch that out. And then on a scrap piece, again, I'm going to use my, these are all fussy cutted, by the way. No, don't groan. I think I hear you groaning through the Facebook. So with this, I'm gonna do 2 flowers in cherry cobbler. Now these little flowers are right here in this stamp set. And then I also need my leaves. So we're going to go back in and grab the leaves. Leaves are right here. And I'm going to do 2 leaves. All right. And then, of course, use our alcohol markers. And then you have to fussy cut them out. And you notice I'm leaving white space. That poor pen may have seen better days just because it's been used so much. And I'm going to just fill in green. And there you go. That's colored in. I would fussy cut them out and then stamp the joy, and then it's all just placed on with dimensionals and glue dots behind an 1¼ inch circle. So where's my joy? There we go. And this is the way we used to get our circle punches, but we have them still. So there you go. Okay, joy. Now here's a tip. I don't know if you guys know how to, you probably do, but when you cut, you move the paper, not the scissors. The scissors stay still. Of course, you're opening and closing the scissors, but you always move the paper, not the scissor. I don't know if you guys know that or not. And I'm not getting in there and getting really close because I know part of this is going to get stuck behind. I think I want to change that. Pull that glue dot over here. There we go. Okay. Got one more flower. But if you move the paper around and not the scissors. Goes pretty quick. Okay, so we're going to grab another glue dot. And this time it's going to go right on the joy. I'm going to put a little dimensional back there. Yeah, that one's barely on there. Maybe I'll move him down there. Use my paper piercer. Goes on there. And now I just have to do my leaves. All right, so I think I'll use a glue dot. Keep laying my glue dots down. There we go, one more. You guys still with me? Probably should have had this already cut out, fussy cutted. And if I had more time, I'd probably spend a little bit more time fussy cutting closer. But you guys get the idea. So this one's going to go up there. Okay, so now I need to take my hole punch, our 1/8 inch hole punch. Put that in there and then grab some gold cording. About 6 inches. That's probably too long, but, and then I always tie a knot to hold the legs together. Okay. And then these little cute little gold pearls, gold metallic pearls, those guys are in our catalog. And they are, oh, they're in the main catalog. And they're on page 197 right there. So, just need to, where are they? What did I do with them? They are, they're here somewhere. As hard as I try to stay organized, I am telling you, I had it, oh, here they are. I had them all set up. So there's that. Get my tag back. And I'm going to use my paper piercer, or if you get the new gadget from Stampin' Up, that also comes with a, I don't know if you've guys seen that, but it comes with, you unscrew it, pull it out, so it's got like a little spatula, paper piercer, and then of course this thing is a sticky thing that picks up sequins or small little embellishments, and then it has one more attachment that are for scoring, two different sizes of scoring. And I guess I've poked it into another place, but I don't have it with me here. All right, so that my tag is done. And now let me show you these boxes. They come this way. I've actually made a stand, I'll have to show you, for my alcohol markers. I found a box that's perfect size, and I'm using these for my alcohol markers now. I've outgrown my paper pumpkin box. All right. So let's take our cards. Of course, I'd have envelopes. I would pop it in there. And these out of the way. And then, of course, close her down. And the way I do my ribbon is, oh, come on. There we go. I put a glue dot there on the end of the, well, I'll put it on the end of the ribbon. Pull it off. I'll stick it right there in the center of the box, and I will wrap it around. Cut. And on this one, I'm going to bring in my silicone pad and a snail. And I am just going to, oh, I know, I love those pearls too. I just saw that, Patty. Right here, I'm going to put some snail. And then it runs the other way too, or even just that would be beautiful because the bow is going to cover it up, but I'm going to finish the job here. So now I'm going to put this here and wrap it around. Now eventually I'm going to go into the gift making mode and have this for a class too. So that's probably a little too long. Promote it. All right. And then I'm just going to freehand the ribbon into a bow. This is beautiful ribbon. Absolutely beautiful. It ties nice. Very, very nice. But I do it this way, and then I'll glue it down with a glue dot. And then you got to trim all the excess out of there. And then you just take and you tie your tag around there. So that's one gift. I have one more card to show you. What time is it? Yeah, we've been doing this a half hour. Let me show you one more card. This too was made with my group. So here's a card. This is the chicken wire. The chicken wire was on back order, but I think it's back up and going again. So 5.5 by 8.5, scored in the middle, and I didn't score it ahead of time, so we're going to do a manual fold. This chicken wire comes, and it's in the holiday. It's 6 pieces, and you don't have, it doesn't have adhesive on the back. So you have to pull it out of its little frame. And the way I'm going to work with the glue on this, so I'm going to put it on my silicone pad, and I'm just going to take my snail, and I'm just going to go through and just, it doesn't really bother me there that it's showing, because once I get it turned over, I will take an adhesive remover and get what shows through. Okay, so this is going to go centered on the card. Love that. Just love it. Now see here, see how it's kind of sticking through? We have, well, we did sell adhesive removers, and I don't have one local, but you just take and I think I went and looked for it the other day in our catalog and I couldn't find it. I'm going to make another try, but okay, so that's on there, and it's down there pretty good with that technique. So the next thing we're going to do is you're going to take a piece of basic gray, and it's 5 1/4 by 2 1/4, and then this is that new it's a new shiny paper. Did I mark it? I hope I did. Champagne. Where is it? Where is it? It's with the chicken wire, maybe? Yes, it is. It's called galvanized metallic paper. So there's your chicken wire, and there's the galvanized. And we're going to run it through the tin tile. That's also new. And I don't know if you've noticed now, but they've started, Stampin' Up! Has started putting this line at the bottom where you can line your cardstock up. And this particular one is the thick one, pretty thick. So when you run it through, if you have one of the newer Big Shots that just has the platform and the thin lid adapter, you're going to want to remove that thin lid adapter. You're going to put your tin tile embossing folder directly down on your platform, one acrylic plate, and you're going to run it through. And there you have it. Isn't that beautiful? Now sometimes if you want to get a deeper impression, you can spritz it with water and it gets just a little bit deeper. I love this folder. All right, because this is smaller, I'm going to use snail, but I'm going to put a ton of it on. In Florida, we have a lot of humidity problems. Okay. And so I didn't pop it up, so we're gonna do the same. And I just ran out, so I gotta change my, oh, here's one. See how long that one runs. But you notice how much snail I'm putting on. There we go. So this is gonna go, I'd leave about 1 inch at the top. No magic number. Inch at the top. Okay, so these guys, I'm going to use scrap. And again, I'm using watercolor. Mento is watercolor. Stays on as alcohol. So I'm going to use this. And you'll also like it better because then it doesn't stain your photopolymer stamps as bad if you use Mento. All right, so I got to clean this guy. We need 2 of those. And I'm going to do that in Mento. And you got to leave enough room for the circle, so I'm going to try to see what that does. And I'm going to go ahead and punch it out, make sure. Now you need 2 sizes. I'm using 1 1/4 and 1 3/8. If you have the circle framelets, same thing. You just need 2 sizes that fit on the strip. And then of course I'm going to take cherry cobbler. Punch out 2. Actually, I need 3, don't I? 1, 2, 3. So the joy is going to be embossed in silver. So let me go ahead and put these down. Come on, baby, dry. All right, I'm going to go back and grab my alcohol markers, my blends. Okay. And I think I might, I don't know if I want to use green or not. Maybe I'll use a little darker cherry cobbler. Again, you don't have much area there to blend, so you can't really use the whole function. All right, so those guys are done, ready to go on. And now I need to do the joy and my, where's my strip? Right here. So I'm going to set it up on my grid. And it's joy to the world, joy to the world. And that's in the stamp set too. I just have to change it out. So joy to the world, right there. And I'll take and lay my block on my grid and lay my stamp using that grid to try to get it somewhat straight. Now, what I can tell you with the photopolymers is you can stretch them. So be careful, kind of lay them down. All right, so I have this guy here. I need my embossing buddy because I'm going to emboss. Grab my Versamark. And I'm gonna leave maybe a ½ inch to the right so I can get my bird in there. And grab my silver embossing powder. And my tweezers, let's heat it. See if I can keep my gun tip out of it. Again, you see it goes silver, shiny. See how it goes shiny? It's magic. I love it. That's one of the first techniques I ever did 16 years ago. And it's still as impressive today as it was then. All right, so you see this little guy here? Well, I'm going to cut it this time, but I don't really like cutting little flags, and normally I have a punch up here. But if you ever have to hand do them, you always find the middle, cut, and then go diagonal to the middle and go diagonal to the middle. And that generally produces a decent flag. Okay, so this guy's going to get adhered down. I'm going to use snail. I'm going to line it up pretty even with that. I need to do my joy. Forgot all about that. So I'm going to grab that. Find my joy. Joy. Joy, joy, joy. I actually have a cousin named Joy. And she is what her name is. Joy. She's Joy. All right, back to work. So again, I want to use Versamark. Use your embossing buddy. Versamark. Grab my silver. Yep. You wish it wasn't just on. You're funny. I know, like I said, it's one of my favorites. Always has, always will be. All right. So make sure you get the smaller of the circles to punch this out, because that was always something I did wrong. Because you want it to go right there. So I'm going to put it on my little silicone pad. This is another thing you got to have, a silicone pad. And use it to keep glue off your work surface. All right, now I'm going to flip these guys over and we're going to use dimensionals on them. Do I have big ones somewhere? Yes. I'm going to use big ones, and I'm going to use a couple. Okay. Grab that paper piercer. Make quick work of it. Before I remove the others, though, I think what I'm going to do is pull the Joy one off and stick it in the middle of the card. So that'll set where I put the other ones. So try to find the middle, and then you can maybe eyeball better. And then, of course, oh, that one went a little low. Move it up. Okay. And then Winkostella. Where's my Winkostella? That's the one thing that escapes me, is my Winkostella. And I don't have it here, so I won't add it, but I would put a little Winkostella here and here. Finally, let's do the little birdie bird. Birdie bird is right here. Oh, and I've got the wrong bird. Now in this stamp set, you have birds facing different directions. You got a bird facing that way and a bird facing... Wow. It's funny because it'll stamp opposite of what it... I want it facing that way. All right, so I'm going to use Mento again. And I have a couple of different browns here. This one is soft suede, and I'm going to use the light on his chest. And then I'm going to go back and grab the cherry cobbler and use the cherry cobbler on the rest of his body. And again, you could do some shading, but the area is pretty small. So when you get up in that little tiny area, don't press hard if you're using the brush end. And guess what? You got a fussy cut. But it's good for your hands to fussy cut. I mean, it would have been nice to have some framelits, but we don't, so we fussy cut and exercise those hands. Well, I could have done a little better there. Okay. So he's going to go right here, and I'm going to use the dimensional on him too, and I'm going to use a big one. And probably just one. So there it is. It's done and purty. Very, very pretty. I love the card, and it does need some, you see here, you see the Wink of Stella? No, you can't, but at any rate. Okay, that's my projects for tonight. I hope you liked them. Patty, you're a part of the downline, and I'm going to have a technique class on Saturday starting at 4 using the shimmer paints. And you might not have shimmer paints, but you can always join us. It's on the Creative Queens at 4 o'clock. Check in and you can see some techniques on shimmer paint. So I hope you'll join me there if you've got time. I do have a couple of other quick projects I can show you, but we won't make them using the same stamp set. This is one of our boxes out of the annual catalog. It is these guys, Mini Gables, and there are white and there's silver, and I chose the white. Oh, you're welcome. This actually shimmers a little bit, but you can see I used a little flower just stamped all over it. And then this ribbon is the white polka dot ribbon, and I just dyed it with Real Red, our classic inks. I poured it into a tray and let the ribbon stay in there, and it absorbed the color, and then I let it dry before I used it. So that's a fun thing to do. It's a little messy, but it's fun. I just stamped all over it and made this cute little clever tag, and did the same as I did on this. Punched out of, well, this is Real Red. No, actually that's Poppy Parade. Use the little silver pearls again that instead of the gold, and then on here I used Season's Greetings and just embossed it on vellum. So, hey Karen, I'm just getting finished. There, Missy. But you can go back and watch it later. That's a project, which Karen, you saw these projects because you came to the downline meeting. What? There seems like there was one other project I had, but I don't. So, all right, girls, I'm done. That's what I have for tonight. Next time I'll see you Wednesday night at 7, and I'll have some new projects ready to go. Okay? Hello, Karen. I will see you guys next week. All right? Or check in Saturday. We've got that paint. We've got that shimmer paint class Saturday at 4. So be sure to check in there if you got a time. Karen, when are you going on your trip? Don't you leave here soon? No, couple weeks, right? Hey, Judy, you're a little late there. I just finished up. But you can go back. I'll post the video and you can go back and look. I've got some, November 26th. Okay. Wow, that's right after Thanksgiving. Well, you have a fun time because I probably won't see you unless you come check in Saturday. But all right, yeah, come see me Saturday at 4. We'll do some shimmer paints. And then I'll see some of you guys on Sunday too. So, and I am checking out. I'll see you guys later.